Hello everyone, Spencer R here, and this video is not going to be too long. In this video, I will be going through Boomerang's schedule for the 4th of July weekend, Cartoon Network's schedule for 4th of July weekend, Adult Swim and how I would improve, the KCAs because I want to actually speak a little bit of that, and Game Show Network with a little bit of stuff as well. So let's just immediately get the show on the road. So let's start off with Boomerang for 4th of July weekend because it's actually interesting. So we're on the 4th of July. Let's see what's going on. So for the 4th of July, we're getting the Flintstones, Cave Kids, more Flintstones for a long time, the Fred and Barney show for a couple of hours, then more Flintstones. So it's a whole day of the Flintstones, which is sweet. And then for Saturday, July 5th, we're getting the Jetsons for a full 24 hours. Yup, nothing but the frickin' Jetsons. And then for the 6th, we're getting Johnny Quest, which is an interesting choice. So this is sweet. 3 whole days of 3 classics that are not Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, or Scooby-Doo related. So this is just great right here. 3 whole days of nothing but classics, and good ones too. So technically for 4th of July weekend, it'll be just like with the older Boomerang we all know and love. Personally, for the Flintstones though, they could have added in more Fred and Barney, and maybe the Flintstone kids too, but it's crazy to think that we have Cave Kids anyway. Also for Sunday, they could have done some new adventures of Johnny Quest as well, but this is something I'll still accept. So really interesting lineups here. Now let's take a look at what Cartoon Network will be doing here. So we have Gumball, Teen Titans Go, Tiny Toons University, more Teen Titans Go, sadly until 5 p.m. Apparently, I'm not surprised because Cartoon Network is obsessed with it. Well, not obsessed, because I'm not like those guys that say that. I guess in a way for holidays they kind of are, but it makes sense. It's fine. Skip through Adult Swim here. Now let's see what's going on for the weekend, just because. So we get the same old stuff here. Of course, I'll be showing this later in another video, but it looks like that Tom and Jerry show, the 1970s one that was shown on the 4th this month on Boomerang, is going to be returning to Cartoon Network, replacing the Tom and Jerry Tales show at 1 o'clock. That's cool. It's a nice way to keep variety and not replace it with more Gumball or something. So I approve of that. Oh, I get My Adventures with Superman Marathon. Wait a minute, isn't that replacing Toonami? I think it is. Alright, that's fine. Kind of makes sense for anime stuff. Futurama. Okay, now for Sunday. So we get same old Scooby-Doo stuff. All these shows. But we get the Powerpuff Girls Marathon. A Powerpuff Girls Marathon from 1 through 3:30, so that's cool. And then the rest is the same. So not a bad weekend schedule. They do have some special stuff's going on. That's fine. Especially for Friday, but yeah. And that's already it with Cartoon Network and Boomerang because there's nothing else to go through really. Now for what I was saying, what am I going to do for improving Adult Swim? In other words, let's rephrase it. How would I improve Adult Swim? So first of all, we all know Checker Pass will be done after this coming Friday. So 5 p.m. So we all know Adult Swim has 13 hours and they only have like 7 shows airing for weekdays, which I find freaking pathetic. Here's how I would improve it. So according to some Top Cat fan, he said that these Fox shows do good, in which that's okay, but the problem is they take up a majority of the Adult Swim schedule. So how would I improve this? Well, firstly, I wouldn't do what X-Men 1991 did and have a show take half an hour, and that would just be the whole lineup. It's fine if they want to have 13 hours, because I know they can't afford another channel for Adult Swim, and Cartoon Network can be 24/7 again. But still, more variety would be welcome if they want to keep it like this, because adults are watching. So like with these 90 minutes of King of the Hill, they're free to stay. I don't mind that. Bob's Burgers, though, 2.5 hours. And look, I love Bob's Burgers. It's a good show, but 2.5 hours, that is too long. So they're free to keep these 90 minutes right here from 6:30 through 8. From 8 through 9:30, they should put in American Dad. Family Guy can stay from 9:30 through 11. Then at 11 o'clock, have an hour of Futurama. Midnight, have an hour of Rick and Morty. Now, Lazarus, I think it's only going to be showing on Fridays or something. Let's go back to this one here. Okay, yeah. They're free to keep that if they like. So, what I say? Futurama, Rick and Morty, yeah. So, 1 o'clock, you could have it be an hour of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. 2 o'clock could be an hour of Robot Chicken. Seriously, they're really placing American Dad late at night. I don't approve of that. That's ridiculous. 3 o'clock, let's see. What's another... Well, let's take a look at what they got. Oh, they have Squidbillies. Okay, why not put an hour of Squidbillies at 3 o'clock then? Then 4 o'clock, you can have something like Smiling Friends or something. Then 5 o'clock could either be a repeat of a show, or maybe have something like Oh My God, Yes, or Lazarus, the new show or something. Okay, that's for weekdays. Now, what about weekends? Well, I'm not going to be showing this Saturday again, because, well, obviously it's replaced with an hour of my adventures with Superman. Oh, I guess if they want to have that for an hour at 5, that'd be cool, even though 5 o'clock is too late. Okay, let's go to Saturday the 28th. Okay, weekends. Let's see. So, 5 o'clock, an hour of King of the Hill. 6 o'clock, an hour of Bob's Burgers. 7 o'clock, an hour of American Dad. 8 o'clock, an hour of Family Guy. 9 o'clock, an hour of Rick and Morty. 10 o'clock, an hour of Futurama. 11 o'clock, an hour of, Okay, so Toonami will be coming up. So let's say half an hour of Aqua Teen, half an hour of Robot Chicken. And then Toonami. Or how about, maybe to make a certain fan happy, how about have an hour of Dragon Ball Z Kai at 11? That wouldn't hurt. And then Toonami, everything here is free to stay. I don't mind at all. Futurama is actually a good send-off in a way. So if they want to take that other hour, replace it with... Oh, or better yet, you could put in something like The Brack Show. That'd be great. Put that back on. I missed that. Oh, this is 2 hours of Futurama. Okay, I'll accept this. Maybe have this hour be something like those same half hours of... Or better yet, and... Let's see... No, how about... No. I said before earlier an hour of Futurama, so maybe put an hour of The Brack Show here, then half an hour of Aqua Teen and Robot Chicken there. Okay, now what about Sundays? Sundays, I think, could just be the same thing, honestly. But replace Toonami with other things, obviously. So... I only said an hour for these shows because obviously Toonami will be taking over 4 hours and all of that could stay. Sunday, on the other hand, you're welcome to have like for weekdays. So 90 minutes of King of the Hill, 90 minutes of Bob's Burgers, 90 minutes of American Dad, 90 minutes of Family Guy, an hour of Rick and Morty. Oh, and you have these other shows too. Common Side Effects and Smiling Friends. I think all of this is the new show, the new episode, so I guess they're all free to stay. Yeah, common side effects could stay at half an hour. Maybe replace half an hour of Family Guy, give these two shows more time. That'd be sweet. Robot Chicken can stay there up for sure. Make this hour the Brack Show. Make this hour Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Same repeats. I guess they could stay. And then this last hour, how about like Futurama or just some other shows you have in your library you could show to adults. So that's technically how I would improve Adult Swim because, yeah, I 100% agree with X-Men 1991. Adult Swim does suck. I don't blame them at all. Their lineup is just trash. And if they're going to be having 13 hours, they need to put in other shows. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so that's it with Adult Swim. Now for the extras. I'm going to be talking about Nickelodeon. Why? Well, not just to trash on their schedule again, but also because I need to talk about the KCAs. But I'm not gonna go on a full rant or anything. I'm just gonna share my thoughts and what's going on. Come on. Okay. TV's going crazy right now. All right. So the KCAs. I know I don't really talk about the Kids' Choice Awards, but I'm going to talk a little bit here just for some more content. So this KCAs, I thought it was okay. I don't think we'll have another great Kids' Choice Awards ever again, but yeah, I thought it was fine. I'm 100% not surprised that SpongeBob won favorite cartoon. Frickin' again. Like, it's no wonder why certain people are calling the Kids' Choice Awards rigged. I do not blame them at all. Like, I bet for the favorite cartoon nominee, Nickelodeon saw the votes, and I think The Simpsons or something else, or The Loud House had a lot of votes, outbeating SpongeBob, and Brian Robbins and John Flender are like, oh my god, look at this! The Simpsons and The Loud House have a lot of votes, outbeating SpongeBob? No, we can't have those shows win! No, that's unfair, we gotta have SpongeBob win. Yeah, let's make SpongeBob win. Dude, that's not how voting works. If a show has a lot of votes, they obviously win. You don't pick SpongeBob just because it's your popular show. You gotta give other shows a chance. Like, come on, this is getting ridiculous. I know SpongeBob's been winning ever since 2003. I did hear it got outbeaten by Avatar in 2008, but after that, it's basically been like Tori Vega's show, Victorious. Literally. From 2009 all the way up until 2025. 16 whole years in a row. Oh my god. This is just getting ridiculous. Also, another thing I have to say about SpongeBob, not a bad thing. They're making a new episode, literally coming this Friday, called the Time Twister episode or whatever. It's basically like that Back to the Past episode from Season 7, only except it's done in a better way. In other words, they're going to have modern SB meet classic SB. I'm not even joking. And I know they're not going to make the animation like the earlier days, unfortunately, which is understandable, but at least they're going to try. Like, I remember they made an episode called A Fish Called Sandy, and that was basically like the old earlier episodes. They actually took a break from those stupid facial expressions, thank God. Like, I hated those so much. That really does prove that SpongeBob is a little kid show. Well, maybe not in the same way as Paw Patrol or Peppa Pig, but you should know what I mean. Anyways, bottom line for the Kids' Choice Awards, yeah. I just think it was fine, I suppose. But I do enjoy watching it every year, even though Nickelodeon does suck now, but I could care less. Okay, so now let's move on to GSN, because there's some stuff I like to talk about, especially for weekends. So let's just go to weekends, because there are a couple things I forgot to mention in that big video. So firstly, I have to mention here with Tic-Tac-Toe and Bingo Blitz. What was interesting is the fact that when these two shows had its first few weeks of reruns, they actually did put them on weekends, literally, like right off the bat. They didn't hesitate. They didn't wait a couple months or anything. They just put them on weekends immediately, which was cool. Something about Bingo Blitz though is unfortunately, it's not doing well on ratings, as I heard from Cody Merriman, and it's not gonna get renewed. I am severely disappointed. Although it is gonna be showing some more new episodes, so at least it's not gonna be done just yet. But yeah, after that's done, unfortunately, it'll be forgotten. Apparently, these guys didn't like them. Like, I didn't understand why, though. Like, again, I don't think the show's bad. It's decent. It's certainly better than Flipside. I don't know how that show's getting good ratings. That show's boring AF. I do not like it. Though, unlike other shows like Hey Yahoo or Bingo or Blank Slate, it actually is showing on weekends, so that is cool. So if they were gonna replace the show on weekdays, at least keep it on weekends, please. Like, make it have the same treatment as Split Second, at least. But yeah, that's all I want to say for that. Now, for something else I forgot to mention with Switch and Split Second. These shows are back on weekends, which is cool, but what I find interesting is the fact that they're not doing the whole Split Second getting 2 reruns and Switch only getting 1. They're both getting 1 apiece, in which that's something they should have done before when they replaced an hour of Cash Cab. Like, I appreciated them replacing some Family Feud around that time, but only letting Split Second get another half hour than Switch, I just found that unfair, so thankfully they're both getting the same treatment this time. Now to mention something else, with Beat the Bridge. But first, I gotta mention this. Starting this Sunday, actually, they're gonna be replacing the Ken Jennings Jeopardy with Alex Trebek again, which is cool. Maybe they'll show the other episodes besides the ones with Ken Jennings, but that's okay. It's fine if they don't. It's their decision. So something I like to mention with Beat the Bridge here, I've actually been watching a bunch of their new episodes, obviously. And remember that one time when I've stated that for the third round, they did 10 questions, $400 a piece, and a $500 bonus? Well, they actually do that sometimes, so it's not just a one episode type thing. They do that for like a few times just to make them challenging or something. Much like with the Cash Cab double rides on Cash Cab, obviously. So that's something I found pretty cool. I also did hear from Cody Merriman. I'm kind of glad he told me this before I started filming. But it looks like Game Show Network's getting some new shows like Ridiculousness with John Michael Higgins and a couple of other ones. I hope they do well. Because, of course, it's just based on pure luck, I guess. Some shows do well, some shows don't. It is what it is. But I just don't like the fact how they forget about the show completely. Like, I understand it doesn't do well for some certain viewers, but come on. That doesn't mean you can just take it off completely. Like, they did this exact same thing with Alec Baldwin's Match Game. Like, certain people didn't like it, but yet they just put them on weekends. They should do the exact same with Bingo Blitz and The Late Grave, Blank Slate, and Hey Yahoo. Also, something else I must mention here. People Puzzler is actually going to be coming back for more new episodes, which is sweet. I really missed this show. And I'm also glad Leah Remini is going to be returning as the host. That's just great. So really, if I was in charge of GSN, I'd replace either Pyramid or The Wall with an hour of People Puzzler. Like, I think it's about high time it deserves that respect. Like, seriously, replacing an hour of the show with Pyramid was kind of okay, but I was a little bit disappointed. Like, I understand they want to make room for more shows, but they could have replaced, maybe, I don't know, they could have replaced an hour of Wheel of Fortune with it or something like that, but it's fine. I also know they're going to be getting rid of these, like, hours here with more, paid programming, so if they do that, they could probably replace, either Catch 21 or Pyramid with Match Game. That would be dope. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Then, like, subscribe, stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you guys later. All right. Goodbye.